Hello.
Hi.
This is our third question for our exploration findings.
Yes. 3.
Yes, not 3.
Whatever, Madeline.
Alright. So we're going to be talking about who are our users, basically who's affected by our MPO, and what do they require from us.
Yeah, so to begin with, the many different groups affected by our issue are 1, the elderly, because they are our users, and they're the ones that are affected by this technology divide, as we've said 4 billion times already in these videos.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other end of that is the family members, so the youngest our generation, and then our parents' generation. All are affected. 1, they have to be willing to learn the technology in order to communicate and put in the time to communicate with the elderly.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, our project has no point. If the family doesn't want to talk, then 1, that's depressing. 2, it's sad. 3, that just makes our project futile, and that sucks. And then lastly, the people that are affected are actually, that's it. There's just those 2. Yeah, right?
Yeah, basically. Or other people, our project may, eventually lead to not only just the elderly, but also other people within our generation that don't know how to use technology or web applications.
So anyone who doesn't know how to use technology. And I thought of another one. The people, since we're designing a curriculum and we'll teach the class, but we're going to put together our curriculum and leave it in a book form. So whoever decides to teach the class, they're going to be affected by our project as well, obviously. Yeah. So how do the different people affected behave in relation to the issue? So we kind of talked about that with the elderly. There's a lot of frustration around not being able to use technology.
Depression because they can't communicate with their families, and they're sort of cast off by society, put into their homes, and not talked to. Sounds depressing. So that's why we need to teach them how to reconnect with our society. And for the younger generations, mostly, I know a lot of us don't want to talk to our grandparents or parents, but we already know, most of us know how to use these applications, and it's our job to spend time to talk to them instead. And we're going to try somehow. Are we going to target that?
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
No, I guess somehow we're going to encourage family members, the younger generation, to speak with their family. So, and that's something I think we're continually working on, because it's really hard if someone says, nope, I don't want anything to do with them, to change their mind. And a lot of it, like family history, background, that's really personal, and we can't really get into that, but it's a big part of our project. So, and then on the other hand, there's people who say, oh yeah, totally, I want to spend time with my grandparents. Let's Skype it up all weekend. So those are some of the different reactions or behaviors to our project. What motivates our users? Obviously, they want to talk to their families. Like Millen said, there's depression that surrounds a feeling of loneliness or isolation, especially in assisted living centers where, you're together with a lot of people, but you're very separated from the house you bought or grew up in or you still live in. So there's a motivation to connect with other people. And I don't think our project necessarily has to be family members specifically. If they have friends, maybe we can just Skype with people down the hall.
Yeah.
Like, I think, basically we just want people to be able to connect, the elder generation, to use technology to connect specifically with their families, but with anyone in general. So that's motivation and importance. What do our users need?
Well, we sort of talked about that already. What we're giving them is a curriculum, but basically what they need is an understanding of how to use online applications, and also for them to put in the time. Like, they need more time to interact with their families. So we can't help with that part, but we can encourage it, and then with the teaching part, with our curriculum, we'll be able to teach people how to use applications to connect.
Yeah. And then that's basically it. Those are all the people affected by our NPO. Oh, did you have one more point?
No.
So our users, specifically the elderly, and I guess secondly, like a second user, is the family members of the elderly that we teach in our class, and also the teachers themselves. So right now it's us, but in the future it'll be someone else. What the behaviors, there's very positive, yes, I want to participate in this, and then there's also a negative, which we can foresee.
And that's sort of based off just some people have weird families or disconnected families. And disconnected, like, not weird, but like it's hard to communicate within the family, even if they're able to with the means to communicate. So we can't help with that because we don't want to get involved in personal lives.
Yeah. It's not really our place.
Yeah.
And then motivation to connect, whether it's on the family's end, like they want to connect with the elder generation, or the older generation wants to connect with the younger, or with anyone in general. There's some of the studies we looked at. What's the one in orange called? So our older adults and social media finding was basically citing that the more communication and connectedness that the older generation has, and the more choices that they have in their life, the easier it is for them to feel independent, and their health improves, all sorts of things improve. So, and I'll cite some more stuff below in our little explanation of this. But basically, that's why it's so important, and that's what motivates our users to connect to people through Skype. So, yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.